before we start talking about food, can we talk about your love? Because you guys just got married. Yes. When did you officially get married?
Go ahead.
You don't remember when we got married?
I never said I didn't remember. I just said go ahead.
You go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say about it.
We got married on the 1st of September.
The 1st of September.
Yes.
Congratulations, guys.
Did you forget? Did you forget the date? Is that what? I think that was like a setup game.
It was a setup.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the inner workings of marriage already. Exactly. If you know you're getting set up. How long had you guys known each other before you got married?
No, this is a good one.
Nah, I started off with the first. Now you can figure this out.
That's true.
He's only doing this because he doesn't know.
That's true. Well, I mean, you did defer to him in the first one. So when did you guys?
So I met Delvon in 2014.
She used my whole name.
I met him in 2014.
Was it love at first sight?
No, you know what? He was playing around.
That's fine. I was playing around at the beginning too. I know how that rolls. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't until like 2000.
Let's make sure we're telling the truth too.
It was about 2018 where we like really started becoming really good friends.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got into a relationship and we dated. And he never left my side.
He said, when did we meet though?
In 2014.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just want to be sure you said
I love that. Did you have a mutual interest over food, or did you talk shop all the time, or no? That wasn't part of the.
You know what? He was like, he was telling me that he wanted to open a restaurant. He was saving money, but it wasn't really, our conversations and things weren't really centered around food. I was really fascinated with the fact that he was saving all this money to open this restaurant, and when we like rekindled or got back, talking, he was like, I'm almost close, so that was very fascinating to me that he really was saving that money for that restaurant.
Yeah.
But that's not how we,
Did that start before Delicious Sweets, or was it like starting at the same time, the plans for the business? Or?
See, let me get in.
I already had Delicious Sweets, so I had Delicious Sweets since 2011.
Yeah, get in here, Del.
Yeah, so okay. When we met, we met on
This is good.
on a dating app.
Did you?
Yeah, POF.
Did you make the first move?
I probably did.
What was your? Do you remember your opening?
It was probably something smooth.
It was not. I doubt it.
Something smooth.
I mean, it worked obviously, so it was smooth enough.
So I think we exchanged phone numbers, and she started telling me about how she baked. And we started talking.
Didn't I bring you some cupcakes?
She first time she came over, she brought me a whole cake.
Okay.
I don't think it was a whole cake the first time.
Oh, okay.
It was a cake. I remember. Because my friends came over later on, they tried and was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
see, my wife started it with brownies. So that's if people at home, single folks listening at home, you can't go wrong with good baked goods.
Yeah. So when she first came over, I remember thinking like, this is the type of person you end up in a relationship with. And right now I just want to focus on this restaurant. I didn't want somebody telling me like, hey, we can't go out, we can't do this. It seems like you always working. Because at that time I was working at Spectrum at Charter.
Yeah.
And so right after I get off, I will be trying to come up with ideas for things I want to do in the future. And I was like, I just don't want a relationship right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started seeing the things she would be doing and how early she would get up. And I was like, truthfully, she got more hustle than me because she getting up at 3 in the morning to take pies out. I'm like, okay, I gotta step my hustle up some. So it was pretty inspiring.
That's a cool dynamic, especially being in a relationship where you're both entrepreneurs, because sometimes you run into trouble if one spouse is a business owner and the other spouse doesn't come from that world at all, and so it's really hard to like one of them's thinking, well, you can just make your own schedule. Like you can just take days off of work and things like that. But if
definitely doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but it doesn't work that way. And that was something it sounds like you were a little bit scared of because you wanted to get the restaurant up and going. But yeah, she's a hustler, man.
Yeah, I already knew kind of how that normally goes.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't have time for it. But we just related to a lot. Both of us talking about business a lot. And it was just good having somebody to talk to about stuff like that.
Who'd you have do your food for your wedding?
My mom.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
You know what? And then so Vaughn did the meat. He did smoked meat, and then my mom, she cooked all the sides and everything else because she's a caterer. So
Okay.
So let me tell you how this happened.
Yeah.
So the smoker is in my garage at that point. I had it moved down here, but I hadn't cut it on.
Okay.
So I cut it on like the day before I'm supposed to actually make the food, make the meat. I'm just doing the meat. It did not cut on. But
can you imagine that? Like 2 days before the wedding, the smoker does not turn on.
So I'm terrified to tell her or her mom. So I'm trying to think of something. And Bob and Smokehouse, they're my cousins. So I'm like, this is not gonna work. Oh my God, this is about to be terrible. Everything's going wrong. I cleaned almost close to 200 pounds of chicken. I'm exhausted. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So I called the owner of Baldwin's, talked to him, talked to his daughter, and they were like, don't worry about it. We'll smoke it. If you got it cleaned and seasoned, we'll smoke it. So it worked out great in the end.
Wow. How fun. Meats and sweets.
Yeah.
I saw. Did you post something about meats and sweets?
Yeah, it was
like a little...
delicious sweets
and
eats or something like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Crudups.
Eats and delicious sweets.
Crudup.
You got to figure the name out though. It's gonna happen one day.
Yeah, I love that. So maybe let's talk, Cierra, first to you about a little bit of the origin of delicious sweets, and then Vaughn will talk about Crudups and talk about food. So Cierra, how did delicious sweets begin?
So, well, my mom used to always have me in the kitchen baking, as a kid. So when I was 11 years old, I feel like I tell this story all the time. I made a cake when I was 11 years old for my great uncle's funeral. Everybody loved the cake. Long story short, I started practicing after that. So I'm 11 years old. I think it's pretty cool. By the time I got to be 19, I was going to Saginaw Valley. And in the dorm room one day, I was like, I'm going to have a bake sale. So this was in 2011. I started typing delicious sweets with 8 different things that I was going to offer. And at the time, I wasn't saying that I'm naming this business. I didn't even think I would have a business, but I just was saying my sweets are delicious, So after that, I did that bake sale for Thanksgiving, and I had 27 orders. And then every weekend after that, people were asking me, can you make me this? Can you make me that? And one time somebody asked if I could make a birthday cake. I'll never forget this because I had no idea what I was doing. And I told the person I would make them a birthday cake, and I was so stressed out about it. I did it. They loved it. And then I just started practicing, and Delicious Sweets grew. I'd never expected to have a bakery. I never expected to open 2, 3, 4 locations.
Right.
Yeah. And this is where I am.
Well, yeah, and I love that too because right now, especially over the last couple of years in Saginaw, there's been this growing scene of child entrepreneurs, saying, "Hey, college awesome for some kids, trades awesome for some kids, but you can also carve out your own future by starting a business." And you kind of predate that wave, or maybe you're a flag bearer for that wave at 11, cooking and baking these cakes and kind of stumbling into something really, really successful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Also spoken like a true entrepreneur when somebody's like, "Hey, can you bake me a birthday cake?" And you say yes.
Crazy.
With a smile on your face and I'm going to make you an amazing birthday cake. And then you go back home in a complete panic.
Crying.
I have no
stressed
idea
out.
how I'm going to do this. And Googling frantically how to bake a birthday cake.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. And I mean, that was before, YouTube wasn't around, but it wasn't as common to go to YouTube and look up something.
Right.
In 2011. So
right.
yeah,
it was less of a tool than with, if you think about the greater world, the kind of hustle culture, the entrepreneurship culture booming over the last 5 to 10 years, it wasn't really the scene back in 2011 before. You're looking at cat videos and memes and funny
music.
Stuff. Yeah, you're not going out there like, this will determine my future.
Right.
Yeah.
How did that cake turn out?
Yeah.
It turned out really good. But you know what? I had a lot of mess ups along the way. I'll never forget early on, I had told a customer I can do this thing. I delivered it. I was late. Some of it started falling apart. It was just bad. It was was just bad. And from then on, I was like, okay, I'm not telling someone that I can make them something unless I know I can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a learning experience.
You only
for sure.
get you only get so many gimmies like that before
I was a
somebody
kid though.
figures it out. Yeah.
You know, like I was really young, so people like they forgave me. It was like,
That's true.
she's 19.
I tell kids that too. Like, if you're thinking about starting a business, start it as a kid, because your chocolate chip cookies, you have no idea how to make those, and they might taste completely awful, and people are gonna buy them and say with a
Yes.
smile on your face, "I loved every single one of those cookies."
Exactly.
You only get that kind of grace as a kid, because as soon as an adult you open, somebody gets 6.5 chicken nuggets instead of 7. They're running to Facebook. And, how dare
Right
they?
away.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. And as a small business, that sucks because I mean, people do that and they don't remember that like we're people.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that can be bad for business. It can just create a lot of bad things.
Don't remember that we're people, and then also I think they underestimate the willingness people who take pride in what they make are the length they're willing to go to make it right. Like,
Oh yeah.
if you come in and you're like, man, thank you so much. I don't think these cookies are baked all the way through.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna feel horrified.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you your next 24 free. Like, I'm gonna do something to fix that, because my goal is, yes, make great cookies, but to make you happy. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I want to do. And
Exactly.
so if you go to run to Facebook and you destroy my business, I don't get that opportunity to make you happy.
Yeah, you didn't give me that opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of making people happy, making people sad. But your stuff makes me happy. Vaughn, tell me about the start of Crudups.
It all started early 1990s. Actually, late. My uncle Bruce Crudup was a wild game chef out of Zenders.
Wild game?
Yeah.
How do you get into that?
He started off, I believe he started off under a cook. My dad said his name was Mr. Berthile. I forgot the name of the restaurant, but he started there. From there, went to work at Ponderosa and gradually worked his way into Zenders and became the wild game chef.
Wow.
So he would come by my dad's at nighttime because my dad kind of helped raise him. He would bring like ostrich and alligator and bear like at 11:30 at night. And regardless of what day it was, I could get up and I'd try it. And I think about 7th or 8th grade, I was going to school at Francis Ray. He started out selling food in front of a hair shop right on Genesee. He would sell ribs for $1 a bone. He called it $1 no holler. He took the money. He took the money from that, and there was a restaurant right down the street on Genesee across from the plant. He asked the next door neighbor if he could use their electricity, plugged an extension cord, put it in, and went to cooking like that till he can get everything open.
Wow.
And I was a little kid working the cash register. That's why I got my first dose of real confidence and learning how to talk to people because I knew my uncle and my aunt were right behind me. So it just really helped grow me up a lot. And from there, I knew it was something I always wanted to do. He closed and moved to Grand Rapids, opened up one there. Once he closed, I took the hot box because I had the key and started making ribs in the backyard. And I would go around to the Twins barbershop and all these different barbershops and would sell ribs. And I would be breaking even, but it just let me know like, oh, okay, I could do this. So from there, got a job at a plant, took a buyout, and I was like, okay, I got this money. I'm gonna start this restaurant. Got connected with the grant writer, and she said, well, you let me, write you this grant, and you'll get so much more money. A year or two goes by. She's saying that something is always happening. Never happens. Now wasting money gradually. The building I wanted, somebody occupied it, so now I'm just.
Which is particularly devastating in a relatively small community because it's not like you're staring at 50 different buildings that can all be suitable for your restaurant. Like you might only have one or two.
So from there, I went got a job at Charter, worked there for I think 4, almost 5 years. And I'd be telling people I was gonna open a restaurant, they'd be looking like, okay. Yeah. It took me a long time, but I eventually got it open. So Went there, did 2 years there, shut down. Now I'm in the SVRC marketplace with my lovely wife.
Heck yeah, you are. I love that. I heard
good.
that your opening was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to be back. Kind of like, jump back in the driver's seat again. Like you got training wheels on a little bit, but once you catch the flow, it was a lot better than the first time I started, because when I first got out there, it was out of necessity. Okay, my funds are getting low, and I need to get this thing going. So I only had like 3 items on the menu. I didn't know how to make a small batch go large.
Yep.
And so I had issues, but now this time around, I really have a better grip on what I'm doing. So, I'm loving it so far.
I love your story for 2 reasons. Like you pointed out, like learning how to talk to people.
Yeah.
And when you talk about businesses, that's a skill that not everybody really understands all the time, because they're like I make this thing. That's all I'm about. Like, I'm into making this thing, and I'm into giving it to you and you giving me money, and not understanding that as soon as you become an entrepreneur, that means you need a set of skills that are very specific to being an entrepreneur. Like, you can bake a world-class cake, but if everybody thinks you're a jerk, nobody's going to buy your world-class cake, because they don't want to mess with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's true.
And I love the second part of it too, because there's so much enthusiasm and passion and glitz around being an entrepreneur, especially like social media. You open a business and everybody's happy and it's going so great all the time, and like you wake up one day and somebody's got a restaurant and it's like a snap of the finger. but it's such a battle. It's like years-long battle of trying this thing and failing at this thing, and this idea didn't work, and so-and-so screwed me over, or whatever.
All of that.
And it's just a battle, but here you are serving amazing food.
I think that's something I'm looking forward to with both me and Cierra, is over time, hopefully within the next month or 2, doing things on social media to kind of show the background stories.
Yeah.
Because it's glamorized and entrepreneurship is cool, and they see you and people give you a handshake, I'm happy you back. Like, no, when I first opened, I didn't sleep for like 3 or 4 days. And I really was thinking, God, don't let me have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Because I was that exhausted in trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing so it looks good. So a lot of people be like, I'm going to do this. And it's like, people ask you for advice. It's like, if you really want some advice, like, you may not want to hear what I'm really going to tell you, because I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to really be made and cut out for this.
Yeah. I feel that. I think if you talk to entrepreneurs, like, they'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Most entrepreneurs I know, they're not about that glitz and glamour and well, I'm an entrepreneur, so that makes me here and that makes you there, because they understand how hard it is, and like the threat to your health.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's some days where you go to bed and you're, man, like, I know this is not good. I know that there are things happening inside me, to my heart, whatever, that are not good, but I'm the only person running this business right now, so I got to do it. Again, it's absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll make me go lay down and get rest when it's time to.
That's good.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning. She's saying, come home. It's time to come home, go to sleep.
Yeah. Honey, it's Thursday. You got to come home. Tell me about, give me the 101 of Crudup's chicken and ribs. I come walking up to your booth. What kinds of things can I eat?
First off, you probably going to hear and see about the rib tips.
Oh.
Rib tips. One of our main specialty things is our peach cobbler. My aunt.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, my aunt created the recipe a long time ago, and it took me a while to figure out how to master it, because it has a lot of elements that you have to specifically know how to do, but it's something amazing. You know what I mean? People love it.
See, and that's rare that you go to a place very meat focused, and you walk away with the highlight being the cobbler, or one of the highlights being, because sometimes it's the afterthought. Like, well, I buy this from GFS or whatever, and here's a piece of cheesecake, and you're on your way. But
it kind of depends on what you're into.
Yeah.
If you're not a big fan of barbecue, then you'll try the wings and be like, oh, I love the lemon peppers.
Oh yeah.
I love the Jamaican jerk wings.
Ooh.
And then it's some side items people love. Some people love the spaghetti salad, and when you see them, they coming to get the lemon pepper wings with double spaghetti salad. And so you already know what it is. So everybody likes different aspects and parts of it. So it's really about what you're into.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
I'll say my favorite.
Yeah. You say
I
your
love
favorite.
the spaghetti salad. It's really, really good. You know what? I've never been to, and I told him this like years ago, I've never been to like a barbecue restaurant that had sides that's as good as his. And for the sides, I won't say they're basic, but they're like normal sides.
Yeah.
And you don't usually expect like spaghetti salad to be amazing or like corn. And I mean, I would tell him to bring me home sides and be like, why is this so good?
Yeah, you don't wake up on a Tuesday like, I'm ready for this corn to rock my world today, baby.
Exactly. So, and then you know what? Like what I love about him having peach cobbler, I get a lot of people that ask me like, do you have peach cobbler? And I say no, but my husband does.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I make certain things with peach cobbler. I don't have a desire to do it because I feel like it should be served warm, but they have it. And I had a customer come last week and she was like, Cierra, I got cobbler from your husband today, so I'm not going to get anything, but I'm just like, I did get cobbler from him. So, and everybody asked me like, do you make his stuff? Do you make his desserts?
Yeah.
I don't. I used to make his 7-Up pound cake, and I helped him make the cobbler dough when he was opening, but he does his own thing.
Yeah. I love that. Cierra, you were telling me about a new cake that you're rolling out this week before we started recording. Tell me about this new cake.
So I had a customer call and they wanted to place an order. I was gone. So when I got back, my employee was like, Cierra, this lady wants this cake. It's like 4 cakes in one. She wants it banana with some cheesecake and some type of frosting with chessmen cookies and vanilla wafers. Don't you think that's crazy? And then she wants caramel on top and she's going off. So I just pick up the phone and I call the girl and I'm like, hey, you want to order cake? What would you like? She's like, I want a banana pudding cake with cheesecake in the inside. And I want I don't know what kind of icing. Do you think it should have? I said, well, there's 2 ways we can go with this. So I'm like, I love this. Yeah. And she's like, well, I think we should do your way. So I'm like, okay, maybe we should do like a whipped cream cheese icing. And then you want chessmen cookies and vanilla wafer? She's like, yeah. And then caramel on top. Now I have a signature caramel that takes me 4 hours to make and my customers love it. So I'm thinking, I said, girl, I'm going to add this to the menu, and I'm going to name it after you. And she's like cracking up. And so she ordered it for her husband. I didn't know that this was her and her husband. Her husband comes to pick it up on his birthday. He's so excited. And then they're talking about it all over Facebook. And I told her, I'm naming this cake after you. So this week, we're having Mitchell's, because their last name is Mitchell. Yeah. We're having Mitchell's banana pudding cake. It is banana pudding cake, cut in half, filled with cheesecake, covered in cream cheese whipped icing, chessmen cookies all around it with vanilla wafers, and my homemade caramel drizzle on top. Oh, it's going to be insane.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Von's over there shaking his head.
He loves to eat the desserts.
What was this?
He say, did you bring me some sweet home?
I fell asleep watching TV and I had some banana pudding in a cup, and I woke up and was like, I still have some left.
He ate my brownie last night.
How fat is this?
Save this for later. Yeah. Was this like a family recipe that she had? Or
no. You know what? They're regular customers. So I feel like she took everything that they like, banana pudding and cake, because you need a cake for your birthday.
Yeah.
And cheesecake. And then just was like, I bet you Cierra can do this.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love that my customers can call me and we can have a conversation like that. And then I bring it to life. And they loved it.
That is cool too, as like a business owner, because it stretches your brain a little bit and you get to be creative. Somebody calls you up one day like, so I've got an idea.
Yeah.
And something that you probably wouldn't have thought of otherwise. Right. And you get to stretch your wings and add something to the menu that's awesome.
Especially when they want to pay for it. Sometimes people want to give you what they think is a good idea. You should add this to your menu. Yeah. You should sell this.
And they'll never come into your shop ever.
Exactly. Exactly. But they want this. They want you to make it for them. They don't care how much it costs. you know? So, and I posted that cake. People were asking me, how much is this cake? And when I was telling them it was $100, like I didn't get anybody that, you know, everybody who wanted it, they didn't want it after they found out it was $100.
Yeah. What how does your menu work? Do you have the same menu week to week, or does it rotate? Or talk to me about that.
So we have items that we have every single day, which is our 2 kinds of banana puddings, our dump cake. We always have caramel cake. We always have 2 kinds of pound cake. But then all the specialty things I rotate. So on Thursdays I do peach cobbler pound cake. You know, I throw in caramel pound cake a couple times a week. I do a key lime pie pound cake. German chocolate is only on Friday. Sweet potato pies. That is a thing. It is such a thing. I do sweet potato pies every Wednesday and Friday. I sell out every single day.
Which days? So
Wednesday and Friday. If I had $1 for every time somebody came in on any day out of the week that's not a Wednesday or a Friday and asked for a sweet potato pie, I swear I could quit my job and be rich.
And they get angry too.
They get angry.
Yeah.
I tell them the same thing every week. I have people coming and they're like waiting before we open. I'm here to get my pie. It was sold out the other day. And I've been making these, you know, it's a fall thing. So I was thinking I'd be done with this after Thanksgiving. Every single Wednesday and Friday.
I'll tell you, as long as we're having a transparent conversation, I do relate to that feeling of disappointment because
Sweet potato pound cake.
When you were at the I think at the Fashion Square Mall still.
Yeah.
I was driving home and I was like, oh, I gotta swing by to get some of that sweet potato pound cake. And I swung by and it was my fault. It was the wrong day. It was the end of the day. So like everything was gone. I walked in there and there was one thing left in the case. And I walked out of there like feeling that disappointment. Yeah. So I want to apologize for those negative feelings.
It's okay. I have so many items. You know, I can't do them all every day.
I love it so much. So that's good. That's good. Well, Von, your menu same day to day, or do you throw new things in, or how does that work?
It's going to be the same day to day. As time goes on, because I'm getting my staff just adjusted and to what we're doing and handling the amount of people that are coming through. I have a lot of items that I created that I'm going to slowly but surely, you know, roll out. Macaroni and cheese is definitely coming.
Oh, yeah. Smoked macaroni and cheese? You smoking that?
No, we're not smoking it. No.
Have you ever had smoked macaroni and cheese?
Yeah. I'm not a smokehouse person. Like a lot of people do things.
You smell like a smokehouse.
Yeah. It
Every
never
day.
leaves. It never leaves.
True.
I don't want to be a smokehouse because there are a lot of different things I want to do to venture outside of that.
Oh, that's fair. And I'm of the school of thought too. Like some people go crazy and they'll smoke everything. Like they'll smoke cake and they'll smoke peach cobbler. Like they'll smoke everything. Smoke cheese, but that to me is not. Like my wife loves smoked cheese, and I eat the cheese. I'm like, I wish there was not smoke on that. So yeah, I feel that. Like you can get creative with it. You know?
Yeah, we have a lot of things we want to do in the future. Want to bring in a sweet tea and lemonade and do the Honor Palmer mix.
Oh yeah.
And possibly take raspberry and different whatever kind you want to do.
Yeah.
We definitely had the turkey legs coming, and after that, we have a thing where we do the same flavors that we do with our wings, which is Jamaican jerk and lemon pepper. We take that and put in Alfredo sauce and also put on top of the turkey leg.
Oh, dang.
We got some, we're only going to do the turkey leg on like weekends, like Friday and Saturday. I might open up on Sundays too, possibly. We'll see.
Oh.
We got Rasta pasta. That's something we want to do.
Awesome.
Thinking about some lamb chops, beef short ribs.
That's what I want, lamb chops.
We like to be creative with what we're doing, so it's just going to gradually come out.
Yeah. I remember the interview I did with Omar over at Big O, and it was right at kind of close at when he opened over there, and I remember him saying pretty much the same thing. It's like you can come in and open up your restaurant guns blazing, and you've got 40 different menu items and all that stuff, and it makes it really overwhelming as a business owner because. Like I can show up to the restaurant and I can go, I want this and I want this, but you have to have the inventory, you've got to have the supply, you've got to make that thing while the turkey leg takes 4 hours to make and the macaroni and cheese takes X amount, all of that stuff. And he was just like, we're just going to keep it simple.
Yeah.
We're not going to do a whole lot of marketing. We're just going to keep doing simple, really good over time, add things when we feel comfortable. And yeah, I think you're going about it the right way.
Yeah. First off, shout out to Big O, another fellow Hillite of mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good thing to do it that way. I think we're gonna stick with our core things and increase our marketing, and then just drop new things here and there.
Yeah. So follow along, people.
Oh, we got some entertainment coming up for y'all.
Oh, I love
Really
it.
do.
Yeah. So stop by Crudup, stop by Delicious Sweets, and then keep on stopping by because
Yes.
that's a great thing about SVRC too is you get to experiment and you get to grow and there's new things and yeah, it's a cool vibe. Over
And
there.
you get a chance to meet us. That's something that
Yeah.
I can see over time. And I would tell Cierra all the time, like, people like coming up there and seeing you there.
Yep.
Like, I'm a lot of times downstairs in the kitchen, but it's a good feeling to feel like you know the person that's owning this and is, trying his best to give you the best service they possibly can.
100%. Yeah.
They definitely love that. I mean, I talk to every one of my customers like their family, and sometimes that could be bad though, because then they try to abuse it and they call you all types of night, or they send you messages and they're like, "Hey, I need a cake tomorrow," and
Yeah.
you're like, "Come
I
on,
got a
now."
birthday party tomorrow. Can you
telling
do
you.
me a solid and give me 150 cupcakes?
Seriously. And that's the bad part that comes with it. But I really love being able to interact with my customers because, they start to care about you and you care about
Yep.
them. And then it just keeps your business going,
Yep. Yeah, that's a big portion of why this work exists, the podcast and the stories and whatnot, it's because of the humans behind the business.
Yeah.
Like we could get into an arms race with Detroit and say, well, we've got so many great places to eat and all, but if you're playing the numbers game, I mean, big cities, they're going to win. Like
Yeah.
they're just going to win. They've got 1 billion people. We have 47,000 in the city. And so how do we win? We win by developing relationships with other people.
Yeah.
One person at a time.
One person at a time. It's like I can walk in and I can talk to Cierra. I can walk in and get a turkey leg straight from Vaughn. And you can't do that in a lot of places, but I can have a personal relationship with you. We can be friends. I can be a customer, and that feels awesome.
For the record, we are not selling turkey legs yet.
Yes.
So please don't harass
Yes.
me. If you see me at the smoker, people get violent. Like, it gets weird. It gets
I
weird.
can see it.
They messaged me too. Hey, is your husband going to have turkey legs? Do your husband got...
They don't even say hi.
No, they don't. They're like,
You'll see them in the store. You got a turkey leg in your pocket? No, I don't have a turkey leg
say
in
it
my
with
pocket.
me. Do you got desserts in the car? I mean, I used to sell out my trunk, but not anymore.
Yeah. So people, if you're listening, you'll know when Fawn's got turkey legs. Okay. So depending on when this episode goes out, he might already have them. He may not.
You
But,
might.
so swing on by the Facebook page or whatever, and you're gonna know when the turkey legs are there. Speaking of Facebook, how do people follow you guys?
Follow on Facebook.
Crudup's Chicken and Ribs.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then Cierra.
Delicious Sweets Bakeshop on Facebook and Instagram.
Sweet. So type that in your social medias, people. Give them a follow. Look at all the goodness coming this way from the Crudup crew. Very cool that you guys
The
are like
Crudup crew.
the Crudup crew. Sweets and
She said on the way here, she's like, when we have kids, they're going to call us the Crudup clan.
I like that. See, I had two brothers, and growing up, we were known around town as the Ike Boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which doesn't really have the same ring as like a clan or a crew. So I like the direction that you guys are going. Well, thanks so much for joining me this morning, guys. Thanks for also the deliciousness that you're bringing to Saginaw. I mean, I'm always impressed by Saginaw's ability to start a new business or bring something new or bring another layer of interest to the food scene. And you guys are absolutely doing that with what you guys are making. So thank you from me. Thank you from the community for making Saginaw such an amazing place.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it, Will.
Cut.
We're out.
You guys are awesome.